So, babe, NASA is going back to the moon,
What?
and here's what they're going to use.
To the moon?
Yes, and how they're going to use it, and how they're going to get there. Let's find out.
Oh, let's go check it out. Oh my god, to the moon.
Yeah. Oh.
Artemis 2 is NASA's mission to the moon, launching in early 2026. It'll be the first time that humans have visited the moon in over 50 years, but it's more like a test flight.
50 years?
4 astronauts will fly to the
50 years.
Seriously? 50 years?
Crazy. Let's hear this again.
4 astronauts will fly to the far side of the moon on a 10-day journey using the most powerful manned rocket to date. Today, I'm going to break down Artemis 2 for you in 3 parts: the spacecraft, the mission, and the crew. So let's go.
Anyways, if this is your first time or clicking on this channel, my name is Onel. This is my lady Tekla. Say hi to the family.
Hi, family.
So family, thank you for clicking on this video.
Yes.
If you're interested in videos that react to American technology, culture, military capability, military history, food, geography, you just landed on the right airstrip. Okay?
You are there.
You are at the right
You
place.
are the right place. Yes. That's the word to use.
Leave us a comment, criticize us.
Encourage us,
Correct.
teach us.
Yeah. We'll be very happy. And without wasting time, let's go see what NASA is doing.
Oh my god. Mission arriving.
Before we get to the mission, I want to explain the Artemis 2 spacecraft real quick. So the whole rocket that they're using is called the Space Launch System, or usually just called the SLS. It has 2 solid rocket boosters on both sides, a lot like the Space Shuttle, and an orange core stage in the middle. On Artemis 2, the solid rocket boosters have something that makes them really unique. They have a giant America 250 logo painted on top of both of them to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, which is in 2026. Pretty cool, especially considering that this rocket was made by engineers from every state in the United States. The next rocket stage is called the Interim Cryogenic Propulsion Stage, or ICPS. Above that is the upper stage, Orion. Orion is really the star of this rocket, and it has a few major sections too. This bottom section is the European Service Module, or ESM, and it provides power and propulsion. It's the way that Orion gets around in space. Then there's the crew module, sometimes called the capsule, and this is where the astronauts live and work. In fact, astronauts will stay in this capsule the entire mission. On Artemis 2, the crew have named their capsule Integrity. When the entire mission is done, this capsule is the only part that will return back to Earth. And finally, this top tower bit is called the Launch Abort System, or LAS. Hopefully the astronauts won't need it, but if they do, it can actually pull the capsule away from the rest of the rocket if there was a major malfunction or an explosion, and hopefully save the astronauts' lives. If you want to learn more about the SLS, I have a whole video about that right here. Now that we know our spacecraft, let's talk about the Artemis 2 mission specifically.
Yes, sir.
Artemis 2
How do people build all these things?
I wonder.
How do they get to build all these things? Oh my God. The US is something else.
Just first of all, how do you even imagine the think of it that seeing myself in the moon? Okay.
Going on the moon.
Yeah, you've imagined that one. Then the second part is going there.
And building the machines that go there. Take people there.
I mean, it's a long process.
It's
It's actually a
long.
very long process.
It's very long. It takes years to build that rocket.
Jesus.
I think it's been about 4 years building it.
And to think that you're going to be flying for 10 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said, right?
Yeah, and that's
10
not
days
even the
journey.
longest mission. Because the mission that have been longer than 30 days. Yeah.
No way.
From here to the moon is 200 and something thousand miles, almost 340,000 kilometers to get to the moon. Then before you start coming back. Let's go, family. The US is, you must be crazy enough to be American and crazy enough to work in American technology. Impossible.
It's not America.
American, nah.
2 is a test mission. Artemis 1, the first test of the Space Launch System, it launched back in 2022 and was an amazing success. But Artemis 1 was uncrewed. Now it's time to test this full system with crew on board. And this crew is going to be able to test out a lot more of the human-centric features. Docking, radiation shielding, communication, eating.
The four of us will gather to share meals when we're on our 9-day trip around the moon. Inside here, our device will be able to portion out water to fill up water bags for us to drink, but also to rehydrate the food.
Sleeping, exercise.
This is the flywheel device. And what I kind of want you to imagine is a rowing machine. So we can do rowing like a cardiovascular workout, can do weightlifting with it. So we can do squats, we can do deadlifts, we can do curls, varied levels of resistance to really put a lot of stress on our muscles and our bones.
Going to the bathroom.
Inside the capsule, this would be the floor. You would float over to it, open up this hinging door, float on in.
All the human things that we couldn't test before. Artemis 2 will launch from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida from Launch Pad 39B. Launch Pad 39B launched Apollo 10 to the moon in the 1960s and many shuttle missions, including this shuttle mission that I got to see launch when I was a kid. And it will launch as early as
This is him when he was a kid.
You're kidding, right?
This is him when he was a kid. Hold on.
including this shuttle mission.
This is him.
Oh my god.
Bruh. And that's the thing with the US. As a kid, you could casually just go watch a rocket launch. I just casually walk down range
And watch.
in Florida and just watch the rocket launching out into space.
Oh my god.
Things we'll never get to experience in our country for a very long shot.
I don't even think of it because it's some sort of impossible.
In this case, impossible.
In this country.
In this case, impossible is our country at this point. When it comes to this one,
Impossible is our country.
impossible is Cameroonian at this point. Anyways, yeah, someday we'll get a good administration together. Let's go.
We
I got
hope
to see
so.
launch when I was a kid. And it will launch as early as February 5th, 2026. And when the countdown hits 0, it's going to be the most powerful manned rocket launch in history. 2 minutes
Bro.
into launch, we're going to jettison the solid rocket boosters and be left just with the core stage powering it into low Earth orbit. And this is when the launch abort system will be jettisoned as well. 8 minutes in, the core stage is out of fuel, and so it's going to separate and fall back to Earth, while the second stage, the ICPS, ignites and gives the final push to get the crew into space. After 2 burns, the ICPS is going to have Orion in an elliptical high Earth orbit. And so now Orion is going to be 46,000 miles away from Earth on the far side, and the close side of its orbit is going to be 115 miles from Earth. And this orbit will take about 1 day to complete. During this first day, Orion's going to separate from the ICPS and begin to do a docking practice maneuver. In the coming years, Orion will dock with the Lunar Lander and the Gateway Station. So we need to know, how well does the autopilot work? Do the thrusters work the way we expect them to? If you remember the 2 astronauts who were stuck in space for a while, Butch and Sunny, last year, they were testing out a new spacecraft called Starliner. And the whole reason that NASA kept them on the space station for months instead of weeks was because of bad thrusters. We need to make sure Orion does not have similar issues. Once Orion passes back by the Earth, it's going to reignite its engine for the Translunar Injection, or TLI. This is the final push to get our astronauts to the moon for a free return trajectory. What is a free return trajectory, you may ask? It means the gravity of the moon and the Earth will naturally bring Artemis 2 back home. No additional burns required. This is a great idea for a test spacecraft like Orion. If anything goes wrong with Artemis 2, it'll just naturally come back to Earth using gravity alone. This is actually the same flight path that ended up saving the Apollo 13 astronauts after their disaster on the way to the moon. For Artemis 2, the journey to the moon is going to take 4 days. During that time, the crew is going to be running.
I want you to understand something, right?
Yeah.
Say, for example, that this is the Earth, right? And this is the moon, right?
Okay.
So the astronauts launch here on a rocket, and they're going to take some turns around the Earth. As they turn around the Earth, there's what they call the gravitational fling. That means you turn the Earth is going to fling them. When you fling them, they're going to now flow into space to the moon, and then they're going to go around the moon on an orbit, and the moon is now going to fling them back to Earth.
Hi.
You understand? Just gravity is shooting them around like that.
Yeah.
That means even if their systems fail, they don't need anything, like they don't need their engines to come back home. The moon is naturally going to shoot them back to come back to Earth.
Okay, I was beginning to ask,
Yeah.
going to space and going to the moon, is it the same thing?
The moon is in space.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay. Means I wasn't wrong. I
Yeah,
actually thought of
generally-
it that going to space is like going to the moon.
Let me just put it to you. 100 kilometers above the Earth's surface is already space. If you live from here, you go above 100 kilometers above 100, you're already in space. Anything after that, you're in space. Yeah, that's where gravity no longer affect you a lot. Like the gravitational pull on of the Earth on you is not really that much anymore. Yeah, but if you're just below that, you're still in the upper atmosphere.
Right.
Let's keep moving. Just gave you some space physics.
Thank you.
You have to send me the tuition. You send me the tuition to my bank account tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a whole class,
Noted.
MIT class.
Noted.
emergency procedures, including what to do in case of a major radiation event. See, if humans are going to do these long missions that we're talking about, like going to the moon or maybe one day going to Mars, we have to figure out how to deal with deep space radiation. Orion has a shelter on board, and the astronauts are going to test and see how effective it is in actual use. All right, so as I mentioned before, Artemis 2 is not a lunar landing. The astronauts are not going to be walking on the moon for this mission. This is a lunar flyby mission. If you're at all familiar with the Apollo 8 mission from the 1960s,
Bro, but how do people sit? I say, huh? Well, we're just going to get you to go around the Earth. The Earth is going to shoot you into space, and something in space is going to shoot you back to Earth.
Yeah.
It's not just physics assumption. It's engineering practice.
Engineer.
American engineers, bro. These guys are crazy.
Is this something you like to experience? Is it something you like to
Go to space?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to go to space, but I'd like to start from flying jet here on Earth. I don't want to set my expectation that high. Because,
No, it's nice. Yeah, I just like when you. Is it something that you sit and imagine that?
I don't imagine myself in a
rocket.
rocket going to space. I imagine myself in a rocket, in a jet, flying around.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't really much fantasize about flying rockets because that's just something that is way above my capacity. Yeah. But if I had a chance, cool, I will. But yeah, it's not something I really think about. But for jets, like flying aircraft, yeah, I'm totally into it. Let's go, family.
All right, let's
60s,
get
that's the Christmas Apollo flight. This mission is really similar. Their flight is going to take them 230,000 miles away from the Earth to the far side of the moon. As you may already know, there's a side of the moon that always faces the Earth, and then there's a far side of the moon that we will never see from standing on the Earth's surface. And that's the destination for our Artemis 2 astronauts. This is a simulation of what that flyby mission for Artemis 2 is going to look like. This is actually what the astronauts will see. The closest the astronauts will get to the lunar surface is about 4,600 miles. After the flyby, Orion will do any necessary little corrections that it needs to land precisely at the right place and the right time back on Earth. After another 4 days, Integrity will separate from the ESM and re-enter the atmosphere for splashdown. They will splash down in the Pacific Ocean, be picked up by the United States Navy, and complete their 10-day mission. All right, so let's talk about the crew. There are 4 astronauts on board Artemis 2: Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen.
I have a question. How does NASA make money? Where do they get money to sponsor all of this?
I'm telling you because they use a lot of money, and the question is where did they get the
Yeah.
money they are using from?
And sometimes I feel like the government give them, but how do they make money to recover that money? Right?
Yeah.
It's an agency, like how, and do they have any business value, or it's just let's try all these things, get some pride for the United
Let's see.
States? And does it have medical value, economic value? Maybe it has military and strategic value because NASA is not officially working with the U.S. military in courts. Yeah, because that's why we know, like, they don't work with the military. But yeah, go tell that to the gods. You know that there's definitely something going on in the background. Like, yeah, but we don't oppose that. You can just tell us. We would still like to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, NASA. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, NASA.
Just leave us an email confirming if you deal with the military or not.
You might guess these 4 people are exceptional, some of the best, the exact people you would pick on an Artemis II mission. I'm gonna highlight just a couple of things that stood out to me about each one of their bios, but seriously, you need to go read them. I've linked them all in the description of this video. These are incredible people who have done amazing things in their lifetimes. Reed Wiseman will serve as the commander for Artemis II. He is
Yes,
a
sir.
27-year Navy veteran, a pilot, a father, an engineer, and a Baltimore native. Wiseman has been an astronaut.
No, that blue is a blue angel. Let's see. This is the uniform for blue angels now.
I think it's.
Yeah.
But it is. I think it's the uniform
Yeah.
from this.
Yeah, you can see blue and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the uniform for blue angels. Yeah, blue is now captaining aircraft, spacecraft.
An engineer and a Baltimore native. Wiseman has been an astronaut since 2009, and he's logged 167 days in space. Victor Glover will be the pilot for Artemis II. He's a test pilot, a legislative fellow with the United States Senate, a father, and an...
Now, they are pilots, right? But you got to have different amount of, how do I call it?
Audacity.
Different amount of audacity to be a test pilot. These guys are basically testing plane jets as they produce them. That means if there's anything to set an example on, it sets that example on you.
Right.
So it's basically testing a new system. If they build a new prototype and they need to fly it for the very first time, a test pilot strap in there and go test it. Yeah, there are pilots and there are test pilots.
engineer from California. He served in Operation Iraqi Freedom and has flown 40 aircraft across 24 different combat missions. And Glover has been an astronaut since 2013. Christina Cook is a mission specialist on Artemis II. She's an electrical engineer, an Antarctic explorer, a firefighter, and has worked on major scientific programs for both NASA and NOAA. She grew up on a family farm in Michigan and attended North Carolina State University. She's been an astronaut since 2013 and holds the record as the woman with the longest single spaceflight, almost a full year. And finally, we have Jeremy Hansen. Hansen is a Canadian astronaut, and he will be a mission specialist for Artemis II. He's a pilot, a physicist, a colonel with the Canadian military, an aquanaut, and a father. He first got his wings when he was just 16 years old and became a firefighter pilot for the Royal Canadian Air Force. He became a CSA astronaut in 2009, and in 2017, he became the first Canadian astronaut to lead a NASA astronaut class. And get this, Artemis II is going to be Hansen's first spaceflight. You can't really beat a trip to the moon as your first flight in space. So that's the crew. 4 incredible astronauts who are going to be able to test out everything for future missions and be our first return to the moon in over 5 decades. So the big question, when is Artemis II happening? Very soon. The first launch window for Artemis II opens on February 5th, 2026. Now, it took Artemis 1 a couple of launch attempts before NASA got everything working properly. But the result of that attention to detail and that patience was a very successful flight. And this time, Artemis II has actual humans on board, so don't be surprised if there are a couple of scrubbed launch attempts over the next couple months. Me and my family are hoping to be there for launch, hopefully with some of you guys. And if you are as excited for the Artemis II launch as I am, be sure to check out all of the Artemis II shirts and merch that I have put out on my Digital Astronaut Etsy shop, like this one, available now. Be sure to like and subscribe, and you can check out my other Artemis videos right here.
Oh, thank you, sir, for making this video. We're super grateful.
So grateful.
Link to the original video in the description.
Head in there
America.
and check it out.
America is always doing something. They're always doing something. By the time you think you know what they're doing, they say, well, you don't know anything.
Hold my cup.
Hold my cup and watch this. In fact, hold this rocket and watch me.
Yeah, this time around is hold this rocket and watch me.
We love you.
So dearly.
Take care of yourself and always be happy.
Be happy.